You are walking through a place you have never been before. A new restaurant, a new street, a new room in a building you've never entered. And suddenly, a strange certainty washes over you. You have been here before. You know what's going to happen next. Except you haven't. And you don't. Most people assume this feeling is some kind of glimpse into a past life, or a flicker of fate, or proof that time isn't as linear as it seems. But the real answer is far stranger. Your brain is constantly checking its own work, and every so often, it catches itself making a mistake. This is called déjà vu, and it might be one of the strangest side effects of an otherwise brilliant system. Think about it. Your brain isn't just recording your life like a camera. It's constantly comparing what's happening right now to everything that's ever happened to you before. Every new moment gets cross-referenced against a vast library of memories, searching for matches, patterns, anything familiar that might help you predict what comes next. This system runs so fast, so automatically, that you never notice it working, until every once in a while, it glitches. So what's actually happening in your brain during déjà vu? Neuroscientist Akira O'Connor at the University of St. Andrews has spent years studying this exact phenomenon. His research points to a specific brain region as the likely source. The frontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and error checking, may be running a kind of background memory check, constantly comparing your current experience to stored memories, looking for a match. Most of the time, this checking process works invisibly, but occasionally, O'Connor's research suggests, the frontal cortex detects a conflict. A signal that says, "This feels familiar," collides with a signal that says, "But you've never actually been here." Déjà vu, in this theory, isn't a memory at all. It's your brain catching itself in the act of double-checking. A glitch report, surfacing into conscious awareness. In other words, that eerie feeling of familiarity isn't evidence that something paranormal happened. It's evidence that your error detection system is working exactly as designed. Here's where it gets even stranger. Researcher Anne Cleary at Colorado State University has run experiments using virtual reality to recreate déjà vu in laboratory conditions. Her team built virtual scenes, then later showed participants new scenes that shared a similar spatial layout to the earlier ones, even if the participants weren't consciously aware of the resemblance. A garden with a fountain in one corner. Later, an unrelated junkyard with an identical layout. A pile of tires sitting exactly where the fountain once stood. Participants frequently reported déjà vu in these new scenes. Their conscious mind didn't recognize the layout, but some part of their brain did. This suggests déjà vu might be triggered by something called gestalt familiarity. Your brain doesn't need to remember the exact place to feel like it's seen it before. It just needs the underlying structure, the spatial arrangement, the shape of the experience to match something stored away in memory. You're not remembering the restaurant. You're remembering the layout, the pattern, the architecture of the moment, stripped of its specific details. So why would your brain build a system like this at all? For most of human history, recognizing patterns wasn't a parlor trick. It was survival. Anthropologists point out that early humans who could quickly recognize a dangerous layout, a narrow canyon resembling a place where an ambush once happened, a clearing that mirrored one where a predator had struck before, gained a critical edge. The ability to feel this resembles danger, even without consciously remembering the specific event, could mean the difference between caution and catastrophe. Your brain wasn't built to store perfect video footage of your life. It was built to extract patterns fast, generalize from limited experience, and flag anything that resembled prior danger or prior safety, even when the conscious mind couldn't say exactly why. Déjà vu, then, might be the leftover hum of an ancient pattern recognition system, one that used to keep your ancestors alive, now occasionally firing in a coffee shop or a hallway for no practical reason at all. Now here's the twist almost nobody expects. Far from being a glitch to fear, déjà vu might actually be a sign of a healthy brain. Researchers studying the condition have found that déjà vu becomes less frequent as people age, dropping sharply after the age of 40. Some scientists, including O'Connor, suggest this is because déjà vu may reflect a brain that is actively, successfully checking itself for errors. Younger brains, with sharper error detection systems, may simply catch more false alarms. This reframes the entire experience. Déjà vu isn't your brain malfunctioning. It's your brain's quality control department doing its job a little too well, occasionally flagging something as a false positive and showing you the receipt. There's also a darker side researchers have studied. In rare cases, déjà vu can occur far more frequently in people with certain forms of epilepsy, particularly temporal lobe epilepsy, where abnormal electrical activity in memory-related brain regions can trigger the sensation repeatedly. This isn't the same as the occasional déjà vu most people experience, but it has given researchers a unique window into the brain regions involved, since studying these patients helped confirm which areas are responsible for generating the feeling in everyone else. So the next time déjà vu hits you, standing in a place you've supposedly never been, certain you've lived this exact moment before, you don't need an explanation involving past lives or parallel universes. You're witnessing your own brain's error correction system in real time. A network built over hundreds of thousands of years to detect patterns, flag familiarity, and keep your ancestors one step ahead of danger, now running quietly in the background of an ordinary Tuesday, mostly invisible. Occasionally, just for a second, catching itself and letting you watch. You are walking through a place you have never been before, and the strange certainty washes over you again. Except this time, you know exactly what it means. Your brain isn't showing you the past. It's showing you proof that it's still working exactly the way it was built to.